morning, BadBoyHalo.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Did you just say thank you with the voice of someone still in bed at 5 p.m.?
Hi.
Do you want to do the show, yes or no?
After my nap.
What do you mean after your nap? You just woke up! I'm giving you the time of the introduction to get ready, and that's it. The Weirdest Talk Show, where we talk about... What do we talk about again? Oh yeah, we choose a subject, but we don't choose the position we're gonna debate. The Weirdest Talk Show. Almost every Thursday, but most of the time on other days at 5 p.m. EST on Only Hit.
Hello? Can
Bad-
you hear me?
Yeah,
What?
I just want to tell you something.
Yes.
This is the first time you're like just
Stop.
late.
Don't-
Like you're not even late in
Don't
like
say
a
it.
month.
Oh my gosh.
For me, Bad?
No, we are on time. Look, I have a confession to make. I woke up early and on time today, so round of applause for me.
Good job, Bad.
Thank you.
Good job.
GG.
Thank you.
You should have played the second game of Resistance.
The
Like
second
you
anniversary-
sacrificed
Oh,
it
yeah.
for
You're right.
today.
I did. All right. Everybody, today, welcome to the weirdest debate show in the universe. I have myself, our host A6D, and
Yes.
TapL, who is our
Hello.
special guest. Say hi.
That is me. Hi everyone. Thanks for having me here today. Woo.
Welcome.
I'm gonna try to get a good debate going. Yes.
You're gonna try, that's for sure. Little known
All
fun
right,
fact
Bad.
about TapL: he's got 11 toes. Kind of interesting.
That's not true. That's
It
not
is
true.
He was telling me that before the show started.
No, I
Anyway.
never said any.
Let's move on into the general part of the show. Get TapL's fun facts out of the way. Okay, I'm just kidding. I don't know if he has 11 toes. He's actually
I actually
got
have 12.
toes. I knew it. Dude. I knew it. 12 toes. All right. Anyway, all right, let's start this show. So everybody, I will explain how this show works for anyone who this is your first time visiting. By the way, this is our second show on YouTube.
Ever.
since
Oh,
wait.
Twitch decided.
No, yeah, it's definitely the
Fatties.
46. It's literally.
Yeah. So second show on YouTube, 46th episode though. So here we go. How the show works is we pick a silly / debate topic that really nobody would ever debate, like flip-flops versus Crocs. Should everybody be forced to put tracking devices on their children? Should everybody get rid of all the windows on their house? Silly topics that are honestly kind of ridiculous that nobody would ever debate. And we debate them, but how we do it is we randomly decide at the start who is in favor of what topic. So essentially, we are going to be defending points that we don't necessarily agree with, is how the show works. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, so perfect. So our topic today, you can see it in the title, is everyone should have to wear masks forever. So what that means is, you know how the current, what pandemic's going on, and sorry, there's construction in the background, but there's the current pandemic thing going on. Well, everybody is being told wear masks. Stores, people are wearing masks. Restaurants, the people cooking your food are wearing masks. Basically, everybody in a lot of countries are being forced, required, or just voluntarily wearing masks. So in this debate, we're debating whether we should keep those standards, and we'll just say public. So let's set our guidelines to, we'll limit it to public spaces, like just out in public, when obviously you can take your mask off if you're in a restaurant and you're eating, which you can do currently. But if you were out shopping, this, that, the other thing, you would have to wear your mask. To make it easier on whoever gets the mask position, we'll just say that masks will not be required in schools. Okay, just to make it a little bit easier. So that's the general topic. Okay. The topic will be everybody will be required to wear masks in public workers will be required to wear masks. Basically, we will take whatever our current you-know-what virus policy is and expand it into eternity. A society where everybody walks around wearing masks. Think about what type of society that would be. Anyway, let's go ahead and start the show. Remember, everything we say from this point on is not necessarily our actual position. We might say silly, crazy, or outlandish things just to defend our argument. At the end of the show,
please, YouTube, don't demonetize us.
Exactly. Thank you. Please,
don't delete our channels, please.
Yes, this show is just for fun. We don't necessarily hold these actual positions. Also, one other thing to keep in mind is if we say literally anything, it may not actually be our position. And to just keep that in mind, we are randomly going to decide who is in favor of the topic, who is not. At the end, you guys are going to vote on who defended their point the best, not who you like the most or whose position you agree with. You're going to vote for who defended their point the best. So if you just disagree with the idea of everybody wearing masks altogether, don't just vote for whoever defended that position. Vote for who defended their position the best. That's very, very important to keep that in mind. And remember, if you think it's a tie, you can vote tie. There was a tie last week, which was pretty. I think it was our first tie, ever, or one of the first ones. So
yeah, I think it was the first really huge one. Like the rest, it was ties, but just because it was really close on the person for.
It was really crazy. So it's such a wide, a big tie. The first one of that magnitude we've had. So anyway, here we go, guys. Are you ready? Let's get this party started. TapL, you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
All right, we are going to randomly decide who is in favor of this position and who is opposed, and we're going to use Siri to do that. So how about this? Heads, TapL,
Ooh, Siri.
You are in favor of everybody has to wear masks. Tails, I am in favor. Do you want to switch heads or tails with me, or do you want to keep heads?
Let's switch.
All right, so you will be tails. You are in favor of everybody has to wear masks. Heads, I am in favor. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Siri, flip a coin.
It's tails.
Tails! TapL, you are taking the position that everybody from this point on has to wear masks forever.
Forever.
As the special guest, I will give you one last chance. If you don't feel comfortable, you can switch positions with me, but it's totally up to you.
All right, you know what? I'm going to switch positions.
Wait, really?
Yes.
No, never done that before.
I'm going to switch it.
Okay, well, you are the special guest.
Yeah, dude. That's when you know. That's when you know the other person that I'm going to be debating with isn't even confident with their own position. It's beautiful.
Okay. This is not so. All right. Well, TapL, you're actually now in favor of. You're against this idea that everybody should have to wear masks.
All right. I just finessed you.
No one's ever taken us up on that.
Oh, what a
offer.
great start to the debate show for you.
You're supposed to say, no, I'll defend this position. Why couldn't you have just said what everybody else?
Okay, all right.
You could have said, no, I'm good. Why would you do that, TapL? Why would you do this to me?
Took you at your own game.
That's what happens when you're a special guest, I suppose.
Right, whatever. Okay.
That's for me. I appreciate that.
You want to? So how the show works is we do opening arguments for a minute each, and then we get into the meat of it where we just go back and forth, and then we do closing arguments. Whoever delivers opening arguments first will have to deliver their closing arguments first as well. Or sorry, second. Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. We'll decide that then. Do you want to go first or second for opening arguments?
So it could be as many arguments, right? Okay.
Yeah, yes, just a minute. You can it's your opening points.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could start. Sure.
All right, go ahead. No, this is not pre-recorded. IDK-OK. Hi. Well, it might be in the future. I don't know. Anyone listening to this in the future, hi. All right, go ahead. You want to do opening arguments? Go on.
Yes.
Bring it.
All right. So basically, the reason why we should not have to wear the masks forever, right? There's two big things, okay? there's two big things. One, it will normalize poor air quality. Okay, people will think, oh, if you're gonna have a mask all the time, then we could just neglect, having nice air quality, because either way, the masks will filter it. It doesn't matter. There's no point. So then everyone's just gonna be like maybe littering, maybe polluting our environment. It's gonna be towards hurting our earth. It would be the opposite of a green thumb if we're gonna be wearing masks all the time, because people would be very, very they would just neglect it. And also the second thing is that how would you know? Okay, the main reasons why we have a mask right now is because of a virus. How would we know that a future virus will allow us to be immune with a mask? How would we know if a virus, maybe it might be in our toes, maybe it might be through our ears? How would we know if a mask would help it? Because it could come from anywhere. Who knows where the viruses would come from? Do you think so? Sure, the coronavirus is, going to go mainly from like our nostrils and our mouths, but who knows where it could be in the future? Maybe it could just be something easy as like touching our skin for a future virus. So there is my points.
Okay. Thank you, TapL. I guess I'll go ahead and start. All right, guys. Pretty much, I am in favor and taking the position that we should continue wearing masks in perpetuity even after we solve the virus pandemic and everything like that. I'm going to be straight up with why. Okay, it's very simple. Had we all been wearing masks, we wouldn't be in this situation to begin with. Okay, the world is a constantly growing and changing place. If you guys honestly had to tell me that I could have just been wearing a mask all this time and I wouldn't have to deal with the economy shutting down, people losing their jobs, dealing with like not being able to go to movie theaters, not being able to do all the stuff that I liked, right? If you're telling me that I could have been going and doing all that stuff anyway, right? Why wouldn't I put up with that little bit of inconvenience to be able to do that? Okay, that just seems crazy to me. A lot of the countries that had the lowest impact from the virus were countries that were already wearing masks or had a large percentage of their population wearing masks. Take South Korea, for example. A large percent of the population already wear masks in public. If we had been doing that, okay, if the entire world had been following those procedures, we would also be experiencing those really low infection rates. We wouldn't have had to shut everything down, and we wouldn't be in this situation that we're in right now. I say, let's do that. Let's literally take everybody come together. We all wear masks in public from now on. It's going to make the world a safer, cleaner, less diseased place, and we're all going to benefit from it. And we're not going to have a future pandemic that shuts down the global economy. All right. That's the end of my opening arguments. Now we're getting into the back and forth, TapL. Are you ready? All right. I hope you are, because I am going to trounce you. All right. Let's go. TapL, I just want to point this out. You mentioned air quality, right?
Yes.
So people wearing masks. Okay, we're talking about them wearing masks in public. So people are still going to have to deal with the air quality in their house and as they're outside, like mowing the lawn and things like that. So I think your argument about, the air quality is going to get so much worse is kind of silly. Okay, because people aren't going to put up with bad air quality any more than they already currently put up with it. And if anything, what we've seen from the whole pandemic is a lot of places have actually been upgrading their air filtration equipment to filter out more particles from the air. Okay, so we're already seeing a society where we're actually going to see better air quality from this. So what do you have to say to that?
Well, I have to say that air quality is just the very skim of it. It's just the very surface of what having to wear masks forever bad has to do. Okay,
yeah, forever.
Okay, it's a byproduct of being, of neglecting, helping out, the Earth's pollution problem. if you're gonna have obviously air quality is gonna be one of it. It could be maybe like throwing away trash.
Hold
it
on.
could be.
Helping out the Earth's pollution problem. What are you even on about?
I'm talking about like gases in the whatchamacallit, in the atmosphere.
What do wearing masks have to do with that?
Did he die?
From your channel.
He died. Guys, TapL died.
He just left the channel. He just
TapL.
disconnected from TeamSpeak.
He's gonna be back. Let's just wait for him.
Oh,
What do
okay.
masks have to do with that, TapL? Well, you see, masks are fuzzy, and you put them on your face.
He just rage quitted. All right, that was quick.
He'll be. No, I don't think he rage quit. He looks like he disconnected. One.
Well, yeah, that means he rage quitted.
I don't know if this is.
That is weird. Maybe he just.
User was
Are you
moved to your
TapL?
channel.
No, that's not TapL. That's definitely not TapL.
Okay, bye.
User was moved out of the
I
channel.
don't think that was TapL. They
Um,
joined, so I just assumed that maybe they were TapL. I'm gonna message
Did
him.
you
TapL, where'd you go? Should we take a song break? Guys, we'll be back.
Yeah,
After
all right.
this song break.
All right, that was.
TapL died, I think.
What even happened? Did he just rage quit?
I don't think
Or-
he rage quit. I think he DC'd.
That
his
seems
internet
weird.
died. We'll be
Oh.
right back.
Okay, we'll be right back. Right after Tones and I.
Hopefully, TapL will be back.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know what we can do? We can do bad versus bad.
Oh no. Oh no.
I love it. I will defend TapL's position till he comes back. Okay. So
Okay.
I will just flip around and defend TapL's position for a bit, as if it was my own, just until he comes back, because he could come back any second. Like, BadBoyHalo, I understand where you're coming from, but do you not see the economic cost with mandating masks? Okay, all of the masks that are going to find their way into landfills. Think about that. You're literally talking about millions upon millions and literally billions of masks a year being made for people and then chucked in landfills. And let's not even get into the argument of the number of people who are wearing masks improperly. I was at the DMV yesterday, and there were people who were wearing masks, but they weren't wearing them correctly. They had them pulled down so that they could breathe through their nose, and it's ridiculous. Why are we going to rely on our health on a bunch of morons who can't even wear a mask correctly? Literally, that doesn't make any sense. You want to force everybody to do that. A bunch of people aren't going to do it correctly. What are you going to do? Issue them a ticket for not putting the mask over their nose? Oh, and what about kids in school? I know how you mentioned that we are not going to mandate kids to wear them at school. Isn't that going to defeat a huge point of it if kids in school, which is a very primary vector of people getting sick and getting diseases, a lot of people get them at school, isn't that going to be a primary issue for a lot of people? Okay, you're basically wanting to inconvenience everybody in society, which is going to make it very inconveniencing for a lot of people. You want to have everybody wear masks. Like that seems crazy. The economic productivity loss, the fact that people aren't going to be able to do their jobs as quickly. What about people in the hot sun? What about people who have to move and run and do a lot of physical activity? Wearing a mask, it restricts your breathing a little bit. You're saying, what about people with lung issues? Do they still have to wear masks? Are we going to make them wear face shields, etc.? There's a bunch of arguments here. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see how you're saying that there's a lot of problems with wearing masks. I understand, but I still think the overall net benefit is there. Because think about it. Even though right now, are masks super reusable? No, but we can develop recyclable, reusable masks. And I think the overall cost savings benefit that we're going to get from not having people in the hospital, dying of the flu, dying of whatever virus, honestly, you talk about the economics of people having to buy masks and all the masks that will end up in landfill, but think for a moment, that would be paid for 100 times, no, 1,000 times over, just with the economic disadvantages we've had already. Think about it. We have literally been slammed by this recent virus that has cost the world economy trillions of dollars, lost productivity, people losing their jobs. Masks are a drop in the bucket. We could pay for hundreds of years worth of masks with a fraction of the economic productivity we lost, and we will save many times over productivity by not having to deal with the pandemic again. Switching back to the other side, okay, I see what you're saying, okay? But again, I think you're overestimating people, okay? People aren't going to buy reusable masks, okay? And even a reusable mask is only reusable up to a degree. You're literally talking about filling landfills with masks. Literally mountains and mountains of extra garbage that we're going to have to put in landfills. That's insane. The carbon footprint is going to be expanded drastically. Plus, you talk about economic savings. We could have reduced those economic savings. We could have reduced that economic cost by just being more upfront and dealing with the pandemic at the source. We're going to have future pandemics. Do we really want to just say, oh, everybody wears masks? Or should we be developing systems to stop pandemics at the source before they happen? I think your whole solution is you just want to put a big old Band-Aid on it by having everybody wear masks rather than develop the infrastructure to combat and prevent us from being in a situation to wear masks in the first place. So I think your whole situation, your solution is a Band-Aid one. I think forget all that. We are going to have a drastic decrease in productivity. Literally, if you look in countries, people don't even want to wear masks. We're having a problem in America where people aren't wearing them. You will have riots in the streets over people wearing masks if you try to force them to. And that will lead to a drastic loss in productivity if you're going to have to jail all the people who just refuse to wear them. Think about that. Flipping back to the other side. Okay, that's just ridiculous. People make sacrifices all the time for health and safety. Wearing a mask is not that inconvenient. Flip back. Have you ever worn a mask? Yes, it is inconvenient. Wearing masks is very frustrating. Okay? I wore one for 4 hours yesterday while I was standing in line at the DMV. It was the opposite of convenient, okay? You're talking about...
The other bad did the exact same thing.
I'm going to have to wear them for 8 hours while I'm at work? That's ridiculous. The skin on my face will peel off, okay? That's going to be absolute torture. Flip back. Listen, we will develop comfortable masks. There are masks that are actually a lot more comfortable, that don't inconvenience your breathing as much and are still just as filterable. Okay? It's not that big of an issue. It's not that difficult. Flip back. I'm sorry. I've worn a bunch of different types of masks. They all suck. I understand that in the middle of a pandemic, everybody should be wearing masks. But when it's not flu season and there's not a pandemic going on and it's in the middle of the summer heat, basically as soon as we've resolved this pandemic situation, you're really telling me you still want to force everybody to wear a mask when there's no reason to. Flip back. I'm sorry. There is a reason to. When I am in the restaurant and I'm watching somebody who's being paid minimum wage, who doesn't care if he sneezes on my baked potato, if he's wearing a mask, I feel a lot better about that, because the odds of him infecting my food purposefully or accidentally go down drastically. Okay, I don't see a problem with that. I think just generally we'll have a lot less food poisoning, a lot less sickness from people getting sick from people who are making and preparing meals, just for the simple fact that a lot of the people who will be making meals will be wearing masks. I think that's a huge benefit, and I think our economy is going to have a huge savings as a result of that, and I don't think you see that clearly enough. Flip back. Okay, I understand what you're saying. I see how you can say that people wearing masks is going to lead to less illness. That's true. but a lot of restaurants have been doing these cleanliness practices but not been wearing masks before, and people weren't getting sick. Why don't we just have people who are sick stay at home? Why don't we provide them with better sick leave? Doesn't that sound like a better idea than just forcing everybody to wear masks? You try wearing a mask for literally 8 hours a day. That's going to be absolute torture. Okay? You want the guy preparing your sandwich to be in the back of a hot kitchen, 6 hours in, wearing a mask, not be having a lot of fun. Feel me? You really want to be in that situation? Do you? No, you don't. So I think at that point, we should not be doing that. That's absolutely ridiculous. Do not force people to wear masks. You shouldn't do that.
All right.
Flip back. Look, I understand. But guess what? Right now, we're forcing people to wear masks. Do you know why we're doing that? We're doing it for the safety of the economy, the safety of the country. We want to try and get people into a position where we can reopen the country. And a lot of people don't want to wear masks, okay? A lot of people are being selfish. A lot of people aren't recognizing that a mask will help prevent you from spreading disease, okay? I think that is entirely a good thing that we're asking people to wear masks. I think by extending that into the future indefinitely, even though it's going to be a little inconvenient at the start until we develop comfortable masks, in the long run, as a society, being a healthier society, we will experience a lot of advantages from that. Flip back. Okay, you were just being ridiculous now. Look at the data. The data you pulled, $87 billion a year in lost productivity. I want you to picture people now wearing masks, being hot, being uncomfortable, not being able to work at full productivity, and you will totally see that $87 billion in savings from people not getting the flu. You will see that flipped back around, and you will see a net loss. So you're not going to save any money with this thing, okay? In fact, it is going to cost you money. And in fact, let's actually look at the data. The number of people who die in a year from the flu comparatively is only like 40,000 people, okay? So it's not even like you're losing, like you're really going to cut down on the biggest cause of death. You want to really stop the big cause of death? Heart disease, diabetes, basically unhealthy eating. You want to protect people? Don't force them to wear masks unless that mask is going to stop them from sticking a cheeseburger down their gullet. Flip back. Okay, now you are being ridiculous, good sir. People should be allowed to eat whatever they want. What does that have to do with masks at all? Are you saying that we should just ignore that 40,000 number? Do you not see that those 40,000 lives, the people who die from the flu, are just as valuable? Flip back. No, I'm just saying that I think that is less of a priority than the people who are getting heart disease or dying from conditions that are preventable. Flip back. Getting the flu is preventable. You could easily prevent people from getting the flu if everybody wore masks, and then we get that economic savings. I think you're overestimating the cost of having everybody wear masks. I don't think you're going to experience a productivity loss. Flip back. Yes, you will. Again, wear a mask. I wore one for 4 hours yesterday. Flip back. Yes, so did I. I wore a mask for 4 hours yesterday too. It was uncomfortable, but I'm willing to put up with that uncomfortableness because I know it's going to be helping people from not getting sick. Flip back. You're only willing to put up with that uncomfortableness because you know that we're in the middle of a crisis, in the middle of a pandemic. Would you put up with that uncomfortableness just for flu season, for regular flu season, or even in a non-flu season? Flip back. Yes, I would. Flip back. No, you wouldn't. I am calling you out on that right now. You would totally not. Flip back. I would, and you would too. You would if you knew that there were 40,000 lives that you could potentially save. Think about it. Flip back. You are being ridiculous. Masks are not going
How are you
to
getting mad
save
at yourself?
as many lives. But
How do you do that? How do you
What do you
manage to be mad at yourself?
I'm debating.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Anyway,
Yeah.
where was I? Oh, yeah. Sir, you are being ridiculous. Think about it. Masks are not going to stop another pandemic. You know, in the countries where the pandemic started, a lot of people were already wearing masks. Flip back. Yes, but we're again talking about really crowded spaces. And no, not everybody was wearing masks. Okay. A lot of the places that it started in were just
No,
very
I did
crowded
not
places.
interrupt him.
Anytime
I
you have very
interrupted
crowded
them.
places, you're going to have a lot of disease spread. That's just the way it is. But if everybody's wearing masks, the disease spread is going to be a lot slower. Masks have been proven that they act as a barrier to help you not spread your infections to other people. Flip back. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see where you're going with this, but here's the point I'm getting at. The whole basis of your argument is you're talking about economic savings and saying saving lives. And I'm saying, A, the amount of lives you're saving is not that much. B, that the economic cost from forcing people to wear masks is going to be substantial. How do you not see this? Flip back. No, I am saying you don't see that, okay? It's not that big of a deal to wear a mask. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be beneficial. Flip back. Again, you don't know what you're talking about. Wearing a mask for 4 hours is uncomfortable. If you had to wear a mask for 40 hours a week, you'd go absolutely insane. Okay, even construction workers who are on the job are not wearing masks constantly over and over and over and over again. They get to take them off and breathe. Okay, you are going to put people in a situation where they're going to be less productive because even when they're in an office that's air conditioned, they're going to have this uncomfortable mask squishing against their face. People are willing to put up with that during a pandemic. As soon as the pandemic is solved, people will not be willing to do that. You will lose the support of the people. Once we solve this pandemic, people aren't going to be wearing masks. Flip back. Yes, they will. When you realize that there's 40,000 lives to be saved by us cutting down flu season, by having people wear masks, having people wash their hands. Flip back. Oh, so now you're bringing up hand washing too. Something that people should already do and people can do without having to wear a mask. Flip back. Hand washing isn't just an abnormal thing. Everybody already needs to do that. That has nothing to do with my mask argument. I'm just saying people should do that. Don't jump on that argument just because I mentioned it, okay? Point is, wearing a mask, yes, it's inconvenient, but people will be able to put up for it. We will develop masks that will be more comfortable. They already exist. They're masks that are a lot more comfortable. They don't feel as bad on your face. Just because the one you wore was uncomfortable doesn't mean every mask is going to be uncomfortable. Flip back. Okay, I understand what you're saying, but some of the best masks that have the best filtration restrict your breathing a little bit, meaning you actually shouldn't be engaged in super physical activity if the mask is going to be restricting your breathing, because you might not be able to get enough air into your lungs and then you might pass out. Flip back. Okay, that is in very select cases. The majority of people could literally throw a mask on, go for a 10-mile hike without experiencing any problems. So there's certain people who may have medical conditions that, yeah, you could excuse them for not wearing a mask, but they could at least wear a face shield. If you can't wear a mask, wear a face shield. Flip back. Okay. Again, now you're switching the face shields. Flip back. Face shields are just another type of covering to prevent droplets from spraying. That fits in with the mask argument. Flip back. Nope. Face shield, different from mask. Not the same thing. That shouldn't count. Flip back. Yes, it is. A60. I need a moderator position on this. Do face shields count in the mask argument?
Well, I mean, they kind of are. I mean,
they count?
Yeah.
Ha! Gotcha. Flip back. Okay, fine. Face shields can count, but still, if people are wearing face shields and masks. That's kind of ridiculous, okay? Flip back. They don't have to wear them at the same time. The point is, if people are uncomfortable wearing masks, they can wear a face shield. So now people have options. Your whole idea of it, it's going to restrict people's breathing. That's out the window. There's face shield options. What do you have to say to that, you little muffin head? Flip back. Okay, you got me there. But the point is, you're still talking about forcing everybody in society to wear a mask or a face shield just to save a small percentage of lives, which a lot of them would have died anyway from other causes. It's just the flu was kind of the instigator. When the big issues that we should be talking about are heart disease and conditions resulting from people's poor eating habits. Those are things that we could today deal with. And instead, you want to force everybody to wear masks. And guess what? I think you're underestimating the overall cost of that. What's going to happen when everybody's wearing masks and doing their day-to-day stuff, and now they don't want to go out and exercise, or they don't want to work out because wearing a mask is uncomfortable, or people don't want to go out because they don't want to be seen wearing a mask. This is a phenomenon that we have seen a lot of. Flip back. Okay. I think if everybody wears a mask, it will become societally acceptable to wear them. People aren't going to feel as awkward if everybody in public is wearing masks. Look at a lot of the Eastern countries. Everybody wears masks. Nobody bats an eye when you see someone wearing a mask. It's only in countries where people aren't used to it that people are making a big deal out of it. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Flip back. Okay. I see what you're saying. Still disagree. But honestly, I don't know what else to say to you. You're just being ridiculous. Flip back. Okay. I respectfully disagree. You're being a little bit ridiculous. All right. A60, I think we're ready for closing arguments.
All right.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. I'll do the masks are good.
I mean, of course you're gonna go first. You're also gonna go second.
First. Well, here we go. Everybody, here's the point. Okay. Masks are good. Masks are important. Okay. The reason why is because if you wear a mask, you have less of a chance of getting someone else sick. Your germs have less chance of going to them. We're talking about flu, whatever virus, anything. They're going to help prevent. If you cannot wear a mask, you can wear a face shield and you get literally the same effect, maybe even a better one, because it stops literally all of the droplets from going to the other person. But the point is, whatever you wear, you are going to be helping people. I don't see a downside with that other than comfortableness. And the point is, we can address that. There are masks that give you the same protection that are a lot more comfortable. And the point is, if we take care of that, if we resolve that position, if we tell everybody, wear masks, you are protecting your fellow man, people will do it. Yes, there's going to be some people who aren't going to want to do it. We can deal with those people. But the point is, we will save drastically economically from the simple standpoint of we're not going to have another one of these pandemics. Okay. We're going to save drastically in situations generally with we're going to save with people not getting the flu. So we're going to have fewer people in the hospital from various diseases. We're going to have fewer people getting sick overall. Because if someone catches a cold and they're making your food, they're not going to get that cold in your food, which means you're not going to get it, et cetera, et cetera. Point is, there's literally a dozen areas. And if we add it all up, we'll see huge economic advantage. Flip back. Okay, thank you, BadBoyHalo. I think you've done a pretty good job defending your position. However, this idea that we can force everybody to wear a mask just isn't going to work for a couple reasons. A, the economic cost is going to be insane, having to produce yet another thing that everybody has to wear. Okay? You're talking about having to produce masks for everybody, a lot of which are going to be one-time use. People aren't going to use them multiple times, or maybe people will use them multiple times and they lose their effectiveness. And now we have a situation where people are wearing something that's not actually doing something. So the point is, either way you go with it, we're either polluting the planet or we're just wearing something for show. And the point is, that's not going to help us, okay? Polluting the planet further by producing more stuff that we don't need when we're going to be in a situation where it's not going to be a pandemic. I'm not talking about having everybody stop wearing them during the pandemic. As long as the pandemic's going on, yeah, everybody should wear a mask. But once the pandemic's done, once we've resolved it, got vaccines, whatever for it, once it's all taken care of, there is no reason to force people to wear a mask. And I think you have not defended that point well enough. The fact is, the amount of people who are going to die as a result does not offset the economic cost that you're going to have. And I think if you would just wear a mask for 8 hours a day and realize how uncomfortable it is, you would see that, you know what, this is unreasonable to ask people to do that forever. For the next 40 or 50 or a million years or whatever, however long people live, asking them to wear a mask constantly is ridiculous. I think your point, I think people will see that and they will vote in favor of me. Are you done? Yes. Okay. My closing sentence, because I went first, I get a closing statement, is BadBoyHalo, you wear a bunch of other stuff for 8 hours a day. Socks, shoes, shirts, pants, etc. And you're not complaining about that. A mask can easily become just another article of clothing. So stop with the, oh, it's so uncomfortable. Okay? People do it all the time. Construction workers are working in the heat for 10 hours a day wearing masks. And they're not whining about it. You shouldn't either. So. Okay, well, that was immature. All right, everybody. If you agree with my position that everybody should have to wear masks forever, please vote for me. And everybody, if you agree with mine and TapL's position, who could not be here because of personal reasons, and you want to support me and TapL and our defended position, then vote for me and TapL. And if you think we're both defended our arguments the same, then vote tie.
Vote BBH1, BBH2, or vote tie. BBH2 is with...
Well, BBH2 and TapL.
Yeah, and TapL. But like the comment is just BBH2 because I couldn't put spaces.
Alright, go ahead and vote in the chat. So how do they vote? What do they have to do?
Exclamation mark vote BBH1 or exclamation mark vote BBH2, exclamation mark vote tie in the YouTube chat.
Okay.
Do we take a song break in the meantime or maybe not?
Let's take a song break. We'll be right back.
Alright, the Jonas Brothers with Carol G. Here is X right now.
Hey! And we're back, everybody. Thank you. On, and they should be. And we're back, everybody. Hello. How are you guys doing? And let's check the poll results. And oh my goodness, they're very close. Okay, well, so BBH1 is apparently behind BBH2 and TapL at 40.88% so far. Kind of flipping back and forth. It's close enough.
Yeah.
I think we can say that.
Close by like 5 votes.
Yeah, BadBoyHalo 2 and TapL 1. So TapL, if you're watching this or if you're taking a break, laying down, wherever you are, we did it, buddy. We won. Good job. Thank you.
How do you feel, BadBoyHalo 1?
I gotta say, I'm a little upset because I thought I defended my argument the best with some of the economic standpoints. I think at the end of the day, what I couldn't get past was people just don't like wearing masks. So I think once the pandemic is over, people just, they're not going to wear them. People are willing to put up with it during the pandemic, but, that's kind of frustrates me, but I feel people,
Oh my God.
Can't win like that. Flip back. Yeah, no, I think you did a pretty good job. Again, I think at the end of the day, I think I defended mine point the best with TapL. We had the best events, so well, just my position. You did a good job though. I think you did good. I just think I did better. Flip back. Okay, well, agree to disagree. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you everybody for coming to the debate. Thank you, Harvey. TapL had to leave in the middle of it. He had to take a little bit of a break for personal reasons. He will be a special guest at some point in the future. So thank you, Harvey, for coming on for the time that you did. Don't worry, buddy. I don't know if you're watching, but don't worry at all. Literally, everybody has to take a break at some point, so not a big deal. I think you did a great job defending, and literally just don't worry, man. Take a breather, take a rest. You've got nothing to apologize for.
Don't worry.
I've been in the same situation as you, so literally don't worry at all. It happens. Take a breather and just relax, pal. We support you and we stand with you, buddy. You're always welcome on the show at any point. I understand. Literally, don't worry. Okay? It's no big deal at all. Totally understand. Heart from me to you, pal, okay? TapL support in the chat, everyone. Hearts to TapL. Send him some love on Twitter. Anyway. So, that's pretty much it, everybody. Thank you for coming to the debate show. TapL, again, had to bail in the middle of it. But don't worry. He just had to take a break. No worries in any way at all. He has no reason to apologize or anything. But if you would like, go check him out on Twitter at HarveyTapL and check him out on YouTube.
There's TapL Harvey and Harvey TapL.
Yeah, TapL Wait, are they the same person?
Yeah.
All right, TapL Harvey and Harvey TapL. Check them out on Twitter. I thought he told me one was a parody account.
Yeah.
TapL Harvey. Wait, so which one's the real one?
Well,
what? He told me one was a parody. What? Dang it!
Yeah.
He trolled me. I was wondering why it had so many followers. Okay, well, anyway, I guess they're both real, apparently. I feel bamboozled. Okay, well, thank you, TapL. Go follow him on Twitter. Check out his YouTube channel, TapL Harvey TapL. Thank you, everybody, for coming. My YouTube channel, BadBoyHalo. Twitter at Saints of Games. A6D, want to take us away?
Yep. You can find the podcast on, you know it now. You know it by now. It's been 46 episodes. You know it. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube. On the website, onlyhit.us. iTunes, Deezer, Spotify. The Android app. I'm gonna try to get it, by the way, on the iOS App Store. I might have found a way, a legal way, just saying, in case. I might have found a way to get it on the App Store. We will see. Follow Onlyhit on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That's at OnlyHitUS. And right now it's in Discord with the best hits. Do you want to say bye, maybe?
Bye, everyone.
Bye.